Let's break it down. Donald Trump keeps going on TV saying the US economy is booming and that prices are coming down tremendously. But in his own advisor's words, that story may be built on carefully chosen and sometimes misleading numbers. I'm Imran, a Middle East-based analyst who follows US politics and global economics. In about 3 minutes, let's walk through what Trump is being told, what the real data says, and why this matters for anyone struggling with the cost of living. And as always, if you like clear, honest breakdowns like this, please hit subscribe and like the video. It really helps the channel grow. First, what did Trump's advisor actually admit? On CBS's Face the Nation, Trump's top economic advisor Kevin Hassett was asked a simple question. If inflation is still around 3% a year, what data is Trump looking at when he says prices are falling tremendously? Hassett's answer was revealing. He said Trump is shown charts of a few specific things that look better. Some prescription drugs that are slightly cheaper this year, gasoline prices compared with their previous peak, and even eggs coming down from their spike during the bird flu crisis. In other words, advisors are highlighting a small set of good news items and letting Trump talk as if that represents the whole economy. Second, how does that compare to reality? If you look at the broad numbers, prices are still rising, just more slowly than during the worst of the inflation spike. The consumer price index is up about 3% over the past year. The Fed's preferred PCE inflation measure is close to 2.8%. That's much better than the 7 to 9% we saw a few years ago, but it's not prices are coming down. It means things are still getting more expensive, just at a slower pace. Some categories Hassett mentions have moved in the right direction. Gasoline is cheaper than at its extreme highs, but it's still above pre-pandemic levels in many places. A limited list of prescription drugs did see negotiated price reductions under laws passed in the Biden era, not because of any new Trump policy. So when Trump points to those charts and says, "Look, prices are down," he's using narrow, sometimes outdated snapshots and ignoring the overall picture that most families feel when they go to the supermarket or pay the rent. Quick reminder here, if this kind of context helps you cut through the political noise, make sure you're subscribed. A lot of people watch regularly but don't hit that button. It's free and it tells me to keep making more breakdowns like this. Third, why does it matter if the president sees selective numbers? Every government tries to frame data in a positive way, but there's a difference between messaging to the public and filtering information for the decision maker at the top. If Trump is mostly seeing flattering charts, 3 things happen. Real problems like housing costs, food prices, and medical bills look exaggerated to him, so he feels justified blaming the media or the public instead of addressing them. Policy choices can be based on wishful thinking. For example, pushing for aggressive rate cuts or big tax changes on the assumption that inflation is already solved. The trust gap widens. People living the affordability squeeze hear a rosy story from the White House that doesn't match their wallets. And there's a deeper issue. When an administration is scared to show its leader the bad news because they don't want an angry reaction, it becomes harder to correct course before a real crisis hits. So, let's break it down one last time. Trump's advisor on national TV effectively admitted that the president is being shown a carefully curated slice of economic data, focused on a few prices that have eased, while broader inflation and affordability problems continue. The risk isn't just spin. It's that decisions for a 330 million person economy are being made inside a bubble of selective numbers. I'm Imran. This is Imran Breaks It Down. If you found this helpful, please subscribe, like the video, and share it with a friend who keeps hearing that prices are coming down and wonders why their own bills don't feel that way. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think leaders are getting the real economic picture or just what their advisors want them to see? We'll keep breaking it down together.